This is question number 4 on geometry homework number 9. The question says a university is mapped on a coordinate grid. The math building is located at the point 1, 5, and the history building is located at 4, 9. How far is the math building from the history building? So if it's on a coordinate grid, I'm just going to sketch this out really quick. There's our coordinate grid. And since this one has a 9 in it, I'm going to do that point first because this one is much smaller and I won't fall off the graph. So 4, 9, let's say that this is 4 right here, and then let's say this would be 9. So I'm going to say 4, 9, and that's the history building. And then the math building is at 1, 5. So let's say 1 and then 5, somewhere like that. 1, 5, and that's the math building. So it's asking how far from the building, or the math building to the history building. So from the math building to the history building. So it wants to know that distance. Now in class, we practice making a right triangle, finding the distance of the two legs right here, and then using a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You can do that formula, but we also know that this is a distance question. So we could just use the distance formula that we talked about in class today, this one right here. Distance equals x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. So I'm going to write that formula. D equals square root, put my parentheses, and my squared. And then I'm going to do my x's and my y's, and it's subtracting in between. We see that right here. We're going to subtract the 2 points in between. So I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. By the way, it does not matter if you choose this as the first point or if you chose this as the first point. You can do either one and it will still work. So my x1 value is 4 minus my x2 value is 1. My y1 value is 9 minus my y2 value is 5. So then I have square root of 4 minus 1 would be 3. Carry down my square. Plus 9 minus 5 would be 4. Carry down my square. Then we have square root of 3 squared would be 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 would be 9. Plus 4 squared would be 16. So or 4 times 4 is 16. Then we can add those together. 9 plus 16 is 25. And if we ask ourselves, does 25 have a square root? If you don't know this, you can check it on your calculator just by typing in 25 and then your square root symbol. And it does give us a whole number, 5. So instead of keeping it at square root of 25, we can say the distance is 5. So it's 5 units from the math building to the history building.